Emerging from the rising sun, a brim of light tussles the fading night. Blowing trees have gathered in worship of a wailing wind. The forest does not pretend, the leaves do not resist. The empty spaces are occupied by a gentle breeze. In and amongst the evergreen she comes, looking for peace. Time has a way of looking back on us fondly. She hopes that's the case as she holds a written letter reminding existence of this terrible day, leaving it stuck between the narrow gap in the tree. Dear Time, it's Ava, the letter read. Nyra was the only child in the Nauru household. Her father was never around, and for a long time she hated him for that. She also hated how much he pushed her. You could set an entire generation financially free, Nyra, he would say. But as she's grown older, she's come to appreciate the amount of effort he put to ensure her success. She was a talented student, but it took a lot of money to support her dream of becoming a lawyer. She is a hard-working attorney with no kids and fears at her age she might not get the opportunity to build a family. Aging is a phobia most people grapple with. The sweet taste of aging wine is a lot easier to swallow as she takes yet another sip. Nyra comes out here from time to time to clear her head. She used to come out here a lot as a kid. Over recent times, this place has helped remind her of her forgotten self. Her and her friends used to run between these trees, climbing them, playing tag and throwing the leaves around. A lot of her memories live here. Only her younger self would have discovered such a place, and she's grateful for it, especially at this point in her life. A leaf gently blows into the drink, causing her to stain her outfit. Aggravated, she stands up, rapidly shaking and brushing the liquid off the cloth while leaning against the tree trunk. Suddenly she noticed a stack of tiny white envelopes sticking out between the narrow gap. She opens the first little envelope and finds a letter. It read, Dear 2016, March the 10th. Last night, I watched the dark approach. I witnessed 2016 March the 9th die, and I took pleasure from it. I was hopeful, excited, waiting patiently to meet you. Now that you're here, I can't wait to see you meet your end as well. From Ava. Nyra was intrigued, not quite sure what to make of it. Without much coordination, she unearths the next letter. It read, Dear 2016, March the 16th. I miss my mom. She used to love days like you. The grey skies, the blowing wind, and the cozy mood. We'd sit on the couch, cuddled in warmth, watching TV. I fear you remind me of her out of spite. I feel the present conspire with the future, poking and mocking me. I wanted to stop. The pain is unbearable. From Ava. Soon Nyra's soul was entangled in these letters, at least for the moment, and so were her emotions. She only had one more letter to read. She opens it slowly, almost reluctantly, sharing the emotions of one about to watch the final episode of a thrilling series. Only this time, it was real, and much, much more personal. She could see shades of herself form in the words written on the small pieces of paper. Dear 2016, March the 25th. I'm somewhat little still. The mothers at the orphanage like to remind me. The peculiar looks men give me imply otherwise, leaving me with a sickening feeling in my stomach, a terrible nostalgia, reminding me of that terrible day. I turned 15 today, making it possible to visit Mom. I haven't seen her since the incident. No adult at the orphanage would take me. I've waited for this day for a long time. Now that it's here, I'm afraid of what I hoped for. From Ava. After reading the last letter, Nyra left the forest with part of her planted there. She formed a relationship with each of the letters. Although she had never met Ava in person, she felt she had met Ava through the words she wrote. Old Town is where she grew up, so she could relate to the hardships. Reading Ava's letters reminded her of her own upbringing, her disappointments and challenges of growing up in this area. Ava would go on to write more letters which Nyra read and placed neatly back in the tree. She had now learned so much about Ava and her circumstance that she knew more about Ava than most people at the orphanage did. She had even written back to some of the letters but kept them to herself. The very last letter read, Dear 2016, June the 1st. Life is good right now. I've been visiting my mom a lot recently. She says prison is a small price to pay for protecting her daughter, and that she'd do it again. For a long time, I was traumatized. Writing these letters has helped me a lot. I could get adopted this month, Aunt Lily says. I'm terrified that the family might change their mind. Part of me is cynically rooting against the adoption. Life is hard here, and I probably do need to escape it. But if I do get adopted and we move away, I'd leave my mom behind, and that breaks my heart. There's this boy I'm really fond of. He's been nice to me. I think he likes me, but we've been really good friends to this point. I care for him deeply too. I realize I have much to lose if I leave this place, but perhaps that's how it ought to be. I haven't been happy in a long time, not since our family collapsed, so I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to feel like. What I do know is I haven't felt this good in a while. In case I never write back, it's because I've been adopted by the new family. Love, Ava. Nyra returned back to the city later that week, but not without finally leaving a letter behind. She had held herself back for so long that she felt she owed it to herself to write back. She also felt bad that she read the letters, never letting Ava know about it. It read, Dear Ava, I sincerely hope this won't offend you, but I'm guilty. I've been sentenced by each one of your letters for how I've handled my own circumstance in life. The way you paint out your soul with words on a piece of paper has my heart posting stamps of stories told on a daily basis, through your own life experiences that I've ignored for a long time in mine. It's been a testing time for me lately, having recently gotten a miscarriage. I have not been the same since. I've almost become addicted to feeding a victim mentality rather than enjoying the simple things in life. A lot of young women struggle to navigate around modern society, but as you get older, you adopt different struggles as a woman, now trying to navigate the world as an aging individual who can no longer rely on looks to do half the bidding. Therefore, it's quite easy to become depressed. Reading your letters has restored my hope. It's allowed me to reconnect with my charismatic side. I recently found out I'm pregnant again. It's been 2 months. The doctors say I seem more relaxed, which will be great for the baby. I feel the need to thank you for the letters you wrote, and I wanted to let you know that my husband and I have decided we'd like to adopt you. By the time you read this letter, it might have already happened. Love, Nyra.